Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking you through another session from my lean book, and we are now in week 10 of the process. This workout is focused on biceps, back and rear delts with the goal of continuing to build quality muscle and keeping body fat gain under control. One thing I want to emphasize is that this isn't a random workout. Every exercise, every set, and every rep is part of a structured plan based on progressive overload, training performance, and recovery. Before becoming an online coach, I spent years working in information technology and management. My background includes a Bachelor of Science with honors in computing and information technology. And a large part of my career involved working with data, systems, and performance analysis. What I discovered was that the same principles that drive success in business and technology also apply to physique transformation, because you need a system and you need measurable progress. And also you need consistency over time. That's exactly how I approach my own training and how I coach my online clients. Many people over 40 think their best physique is behind them. I completely disagree. If training, nutrition, recovery, and progression are managed correctly, you can build muscle, lose fat, and dramatically improve your physique well into your 40s, 50s, and beyond. Let's get into today's workout. We are starting with incline dumbbell curls. This is one of my favorite exercises for building the biceps because it places the muscle under tension from a stretch position. The incline bench allows the arms to move slightly behind the body, increasing the stretch on the long head of the biceps. One mistake I see frequently is people rushing the movement. Instead of simply lifting the weight from point A to point B, I am focusing on controlling the eccentric phase, maintaining tension and squeezing hard at the top. On to EZ bar curls. This exercise allows me to handle slightly more load while still maintaining good mechanics. The angled grip of the EZ bar is generally more comfortable on the wrists and the elbows if you compare it to the straight bar. One thing I learned after years of training is that the longevity matters. The goal isn't to train hard for a few months. The goal is to train effectively for decades. When I coach clients online, especially those over 40, we are always looking for ways to maximize muscle stimulation while minimizing injury risk. That's why exercise selection matters. That's why recovery matters. And that's why progression needs to be intelligent. Progressive overload isn't simply adding weight every week, it's improving performance over time. Sometimes that means more weight, sometimes more reps, sometimes a better execution, and sometimes just better control. The important thing is that performance trends upward over months and years. Now we are moving into cable curls. One of the major benefits of cables is the constant tension they provide throughout the movement. Unlike free weights, where resistance changes due to gravity, cables keep the muscle working from start to finish. When I train, I'm constantly thinking about muscle recruitment, asking these questions like, am I feeling the target muscle? Am I controlling the movement? Am I creating enough stimulus to force adaptation? Those questions are far more important than simply chasing numbers. Many people spend years training without making significant progress because they are focused on moving weight rather than stimulating muscle. That's a difference. And understanding the difference often changes everything. As we get older, training quality becomes increasingly important. You can no longer rely on poor technique and endless volume. You have to make every rep count. That's where time under tension comes into play. When the muscle is working throughout the entire range of motion, you can stimulate growth without needing excessive weight. For anyone over 40, that's a huge advantage because it helps reduce unnecessary stress on joints and connective tissue. Next up are concentration curls. This is an excellent exercise for isolating the biceps and really focusing on the contraction. At this point in the workout, fatigue is really starting to build. That's where mental discipline becomes important. It's easy to maintain perfect technique when you are fresh. The real challenge is maintaining it when you are tired. This applies to fitness as well as life. Results are often determined by what you do when motivation is low. The people who transform their physiques aren't necessarily the most talented or most gifted in the means of genetics. They are usually the most consistent. They show up and they execute the plan. They repeat the process week after week, month after month. That's exactly what has brought me to week 10 of this lean bulk. Now we are moving on to back, training with U-bar pulldowns. As you know, back development is critical for creating a strong, athletic physique and a V-taper. A well-developed back improves posture and enhances overall appearance and contributes to strength across numerous movements. When performing pull-downs, I am focusing on driving my elbows down rather than pulling with my hands. This small cue helps shift the emphasis toward the lats instead of the arms. Many lifters struggle to develop their backs because they turn every pulling exercise into an arm exercise. Learning to connect with the lats takes practice. But once it clicks, back training becomes far more productive. The latissimus dorsi is one of the largest muscles in the upper body. Developing it creates that wider, like a V-taper look that many people are aiming for. I'm controlling the eccentric face and avoiding as much as I can the temptation to use the momentum. Momentum might move the weight. Muscle tension builds muscle. That's a big difference. One thing I often tell clients is that muscle growth isn't created by the weight stack. It's created by the tension placed on the muscle. The weights are simply a tool. Learning how to use the tool effectively is what produces results. Moving into V-bar seated rows. This movement complements the vertical pulling exercises by targeting the mid-back, rhomboids and lower traps. Building thickness in the back is just as important as building width. A complete physique requires balance. So when performing rows, I'm focusing on pulling through the elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades together and controlling slow the return. The eccentric portion is where a lot of people lose valuable stimulus. Don't just let the weight pull you forward. Just stay engaged, stay in control. Make the muscle do the work. So now on to cable pullovers. This is one of my favorite exercises for isolating the lats without significant involvement from the biceps. It's a fantastic movement for improving the mind-muscle connection with the back. The key here is maintaining tension throughout the movement and avoiding like excessive elbow flexion. When performed correctly, you should feel the lats working hard from the stretch position all the way through the contraction. Exercises like this demonstrate that bodybuilding is both physical and technical. The stronger your understanding of movement mechanics, the better your results become. Real delts are often neglected, but they are extremely important for shoulder health, posture, and creating a shoulder boulder look. A lot of people focus heavily on front delts and chest work while ignoring the muscles responsible for pulling the shoulders back. Over time, that imbalance can create both aesthetic and functional problems. Strong real delts help maintain shoulder stability and contribute significantly to a complete upper body appearance. As with every exercise today, the focus is on quality execution rather than simply moving the weight. So that wraps up today's back, biceps, and real delt workout. Week 10 of the lean bulk is progressing well. Strength is increasing, performance is improving, and we are continuing to apply progressive overload while maintaining quality execution. You need a proven process, you need accurate feedback, you need consistency, and you need patience. My background in data analysis and management taught me how to identify patterns, measure progress, and create systems that work. Today, I apply those same principles to helping people transform their physiques through online coaching. If you are over 40 and you've been struggling to build muscle, lose fat, or create a physique you are proud of, understand that age isn't the limiting factor. The limiting factor is usually having the wrong strategy. If you would like help with your nutrition, training, accountability, and overall physique transformation, check out the links in the description and get in touch. I would be happy to discuss your goals and see if online coaching is the right fit for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next workout.